Antichrist for Christmas. I mean, it's what's the phrase? I will be nice about what it is.
Yes.
But John Stewart came up with the phrase catastrophic,
Yes.
and geez, Louise, we are so scrawed.
it's, I mean, you got to take some solace in these poll numbers that we are not taking crazy pills. CNN analyst said if the House GOP is under any illusion that Trump's fall in the polls won't bring them down as well, while they're living on a fantasy island. This month, Democrats are up 17 percentage points with independents over the GOP on a generic ballot. There is no way on God's green earth that Republicans could hold on to the House of Representatives if they lose independents by 17 percentage points. My goodness gracious. As Harry Enton always says.
Yeah.
Yes. But this is why I can tell the troll callers are out. We had a guy that's on hold for 2 hours to say, oh, how come if Trump's poll numbers are so bad, Democrats are even worse? Because, like, this is what they're scrambling to try to say these are fake poll numbers of Trump's, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And to a certain extent, that guy is right. But this is people, mainly independents, who are going, well, I'd rather vote Democrat at this point.
Right.
Here's the bad part. We're not getting out of this hole for another 1,000+ days.
Yeah.
That guy has the power of a king now. He has a Supreme Court that authorized him the power of the king. He has now filled it with sycophants and crazies who will do his bidding. We now have I'd hate to be the ones to say it, we have a Gestapo now who have been given the authority to go into people's houses without warrants, arrest them, and steal things.
Yeah.
So, for all the polls, enjoy the polls.
Yeah.
Because that's all you get until you hit the streets.
No, that's right, Malcolm. I was just going to say, and when people talk about, like, we are absolutely smack dab in the middle of a constitutional crisis. It's not coming.
Yeah.
Trump said that although he could comply with the Supreme Court decision instructing him to return Kilmar Garcia from a Salvadorian prison, he's declining to do so. I mean, he's saying it out loud now. Trump had previously claimed it was out of his hands. It was up to the Salvadorian president, blah, blah, blah. So Trump literally in this ABC interview said, once again, this is an MS-13 gang member, a tough cookie, been in lots of skirmishes. I guess skirmishes are illegal now. Anyway, but Terry Moran said the Supreme Court says what the law is. And he said, listen, I was elected to take care of a problem. It was an unforced error that was made by a very incompetent man, a man that turned out to be incompetent, that you always said was wonderful, a great genius. Like, everything is Biden's fault, right? That's what he goes to. But literally sidestepping that the Supreme Court is the one who says what the law is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I had Glenn Kirshner on my podcast, on the Black Man Spy podcast this week, and animated Glenn Kirshner, okay? Not Glenn Kirshner with his mellow tones and his usual, program that he has there,
Giant gavel of kick-ass Glenn Kirshner.
Yeah, oh my God. He was hammering it. If he had had one, he would have broken a gavel. I love Glenn like this, unrestrained. But one of the questions I asked him, I said, do we have a snake eating its tail here? Did the Supreme Court empower him to do anything that he wants? And now it's like, and screw the Supreme Court. I mean, we are in a circumstance where law itself is now being rewritten. He has taken this on as a king, and he's not going to let it go as a king. And so until we all, especially of all people, the Democratic Party, and I don't mean one or two of them, until they all adopt the no effing kings philosophy and start shouting and acting like it in everything and start obstructing and closing things and getting the backbone that they don't have, Trump is just going to run roughshod over us. He doesn't have to. He's literally selling the White House with his son with that executive branch club that they're doing there. This is the most corrupt administration in the history of the United States. And I don't hear anyone, even on television or in the Democratic Party, using that phrase.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what we're saying. I think J.B. Pritzker is resonating. He's talking
he's good.
Yeah, about the urgency of this moment. I mean, I was just laughing about seriously, this is the first American president that's lost an election in another country. I mean, the 30-point swing in Canada, right? And the guy didn't just lose; he lost his seat as well as the prime minister. I I mean, everybody was commenting. 'Cause I'm Korean. Korea, China, and Japan have been at each other's throats for over 1,000 years, but somehow Donald Trump managed to unite all three of us against America. That's honestly kind of impressive. Someone else said, I'm from Quebec, Canada. We're often considered the most separatist of all the provinces, and yet somehow Trump managed to unite Canadians across the country,
Right.
Quebecans included. I never thought I would see that day, LOL. Someone else said he promised to end the Russia-Ukraine war in one day. As a Russia and Ukrainian, I am still eagerly waiting to find out which day that's going to be. Someone else said, I mean, we're still waiting for Mexico to pay for his wall, so I wouldn't hold my breath. I mean, in 100 days, Malcolm, we're the laughing stock of the country, or excuse me,
Right.
of the world. You've got him going, Vladimir, stop.
Yeah.
By
Oh,
tweet.
God. You know, my latest Substack is called "We Are Hated Now,"
Yeah.
and I'm talking mainly about global trade. But there's a reason that they hate us now. 100 days ago, they were like, well, let's see what happens. They don't just hate Trump. They hate what now America stands for, which is racist, violating its own laws, arresting and deporting American citizens, taking kids off of cancer drugs, taking breastfeeding mothers away, destroying freaking Head Start, which is, which now will force mothers to have to quit work. It's part of their Handmaid's Tale philosophy that's going on here. The government itself is being sledgehammered by a series of drunk monkeys with hand grenades and machine guns, and the world looks at us and goes, we don't want any part of that. We want the old America. And here's the worst part. Now we may have to adopt Make America Great Again, because we're in an awful position and people don't want to trade with us. They don't want what we have. America sold services and high level materials.
Listen,
People don't want that anymore. They don't, because it stinks of Trump.
By the way, they stole promises made, promises kept from Biden, and that's another complete lie because they've not kept one promise that they made during. I mean, you retweeted. We've been talking about this out here in L.A., Malcolm. Ship traffic into the port of Los Angeles in April 2025 is not normal. Projections indicate a 44% decrease in vessel arrivals compared to the same period last year, attributed to the anticipated tariffs and effects of current tariff situation on international trade. I mean, this is all. It isn't even here yet. The real pain, the empty shelves.
Yeah, hey crew,
etc.
I'm here to warn you. As I always do, I'm going to do it in a non-shouting tone to tell you how serious this is. Go watch the Substack on my YouTube or on Substack where I say the world hates us, because I talk about the coming May 10th catastrophe that is going to hit all of us. The last ships have sailed from China pre-tariffs. Those ships, the last ship that got underway that was not diverted, because China diverted many of those ships to Mexico and other markets with our goods. All of the things going to Walmart, the last ship will arrive in Long Beach on May 10th. There are no other ships after that.
Oy.
Yeah, and that means Walmart empty. All of these things that you guys have come to know and love, cheap goods, are gone. Even Temu is adding 145% on top of things after you purchase it, and there's no guarantee you're going to get it for a few months now.
Yeah.
So the world is about to get materially very bad for all of us because of this moron. And what are we going to do about it?
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, yesterday, wasn't it, said, oh, well, I'm sure they've, pre-ordered. No, even people that supported Trump didn't see this lunacy coming. How would they have? I mean, as you retweeted this guy, same thing you just said. Pretty real product shortages beginning in mid-May or so are already locked in. They're maybe 1,000 miles out in the Pacific Ocean. Modern trade takes place in gargantuan container ships. This talks about the detailed records, everything you just talked about, right?
Yeah, and I know I come out here and I try to explain things from a geopolitical perspective, let's take a quick look at the maritime perspective. If you guys want to know what global trade looks like, I want you to imagine that Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's playing baseball and all of the bad guys on the other team are just in a conga line going from first base to second base to third base to home base and hitting balls out there. And the song is dun 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 dun. That's global trade.
Yep.
The ships never end. They are in a consistent, constant conga line of movement. That conga line is over, and the last two guys are coming in towards home, and there's nothing behind them.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is going to get really bad really fast.
Yeah.
And Walmart shoppers who voted Trump in, the guys who go to Dollar General, they're the ones who are going to suffer the most.
And, you know, Walmart, of course, bending the knee. They said they rejected the idea they would apply an itemized surcharge to account for Trump's increased tariffs. They said Walmart's working hard to keep prices as low on as many products as possible despite uncertainty under President Trump's aggressive tariffs. Well, you know, because Amazon bent the knee, because Trump called and whined to Jeff Bezos. But I was saying it's a good business move for them to say, here's why your thing costs what it does. It's not us. It's not Walmart. It's not Amazon charging that. But no, because they're scared of Trump, they're going to bend the knee, right?
Let me tell you, prices at Walmart are going to explode anyway. I've already seen it on Amazon. I have already seen it on Amazon. I was trying to get some pegboard pegs, which at the factory were $6 for a set of 6. Amazon had them for $25.
I was going to make a joke about pegging, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, stop it.
America is getting pegged. Listen.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
Believe me, that's a coming.
Oh,
Tennessee
God,
Holler.
no.
Tennessee Holler wrote too. They're just so full of it. Question: is the administration talking to China about tariffs or not? Scott Besant. We're not going to talk about who's talking to who. Clears his throat nervously multiple times. Spoiler alert: they are not talking. I mean, he got bitch slapped by China and Russia in the same day, right? The day he says, "Vladimir, stop." You know, he sends more missiles into Ukraine, and China goes, no. Then he says, we're talking to China. China's like, nope. No, we're not.